through the line. There are desserts, there's coffee, there's all kinds of things. Keep eating. We're going to get our ceremony started, but we want you to continue to enjoy the food. So it's my pleasure to welcome you to the 37th Annual Washington and Lee University Athletics Hall of Fame banquet. We're so grateful to have each and every one of you here, and we thank you for choosing to be with us to celebrate these outstanding individuals. Tonight we will be honoring the inductees of the Hall of Fame class of 2024. Mike Wenke, class of 1979. Jim Stagnita, former head men's lacrosse coach. Hillary Martin Cheney, class of 98 and 04 Law. Tim McGlaston, class of 2008. And Sarah Tilber, class of 2008. These men and women distinguished themselves during their career at W&L and were selected for the Hall of Fame because of the impact they have had on W&L athletics legacy, as well as in their lives beyond their W&L experiences. The inductees were chosen based upon the following criteria and standards. Established in 1987, the Athletics Hall of Fame was formed to honor alumni and individuals who have distinguished themselves through their outstanding contributions or extraordinary service to W&L athletics, and have helped bring honor, recognition, excellence, and distinction to the university and its intercollegiate athletics program. In addition, alumni are eligible if they have made outstanding contributions or offered extraordinary service to athletics at W&L after graduation. As you will see, these inductees have more than met and have exceeded, actually, the criteria and have carried the spirit of a general throughout their lives, and we're so very proud of their successes and achievements. We will celebrate them shortly. As part of our celebration this year, we want to recognize some exciting news involving two extraordinary people who have very close ties to our Hall of Fame and who are, quite frankly, legacies and legends in the life of our university. In 2021, W&L established a permanent endowment to honor the lives and service of Kitty and Jim Ferrer, class of 74. This endowment will provide income to support summer opportunities for students at Washington and Lee University interested in sports and athletics, and to provide support to underwrite the W&L Athletic Hall of Fame. Kitty and Jim are known to many for the simple and remarkable fact that they have selflessly given themselves to W&L in immeasurable ways. One of those ways has been as avid, visible believers in W&L athletics. Kitty has been a leader on our campus and in our community throughout her time with W&L, and particularly through her friendship and generous hospitality with W&L's alums, trustees, and supporters. She has been a stalwart in numerous ways, and it's hard to put a value on all that Kitty has so humbly and willingly given and undertaken on W&L's behalf, and all with a fun-loving, genuine spirit. Jim's service to W&L is unparalleled. In his role as Director of Alumni Programs, he served as Chair of the Hall of Fame Committee for 26 plus years until 2013. Jim is also a 3-time member of W&L's Hall of Fame and continues to volunteer his time and expertise as a volunteer coach for the women's lacrosse program. Jim, please stand so we can say thank you for all you've done. I also want to recognize and thank Carol and Ben Grigsby, class of 72, for their leadership in establishing this very fitting tribute to Kitty and Jim. We're so grateful for their thoughtfulness and generosity. Let's give a round of applause to thank Ben and Carol. If you're here, please stand. There they are. Thank you. This evening we've been treated to a fabulous meal by our talented dining services team. I want to take time to thank them for their efforts on our behalf. Catering Executive Chef Kevin Weiss, Campus Executive Chef Chris Bozo, and the men and women of our catering team. Let's give them a round of applause. This ceremony is a collaborative effort between the Office of Alumni Engagement and the Department of Athletics. In my book, this evening is one of the best events W&L hosts every year. I say that because I've come to realize that the university's superpower is its alumni. They care deeply for this place and its people, and it is a privilege to work beside the fine group of people in the Alumni Engagement Office who also care deeply about W&L. I want to thank John Jensen, Executive Director of Alumni and Career Services, Michelle M.J. Jones, Director of Alumni Reunions and Events, and Derek Smith, Events and Conference Coordinator. Please join me in thanking them for their tireless efforts to make this event happen. None of this really could come together without the outstanding and steadfast work of the members of the Office of Athletics Communications. They have gone above and beyond to create a special experience for our inductees. They are often behind the scenes, really want to be behind the scenes, but they do such excellent work. So I want to shout out Sydney Anderson, Director, Will Wallace, Associate Director, Matt Aker, Assistant Director, and Ryan Connell, Athletics Broadcaster and Multimedia Specialist. You will see very shortly just how talented and excellent they are. Let's thank them. What underscores the character of an event like this are the friends and members of the university community who come and support W&L and attend programs like tonight. I want to say a special thank you to the following: President Will Dudley, Provost Lena Hill, Vice President for University Advancement Susan Wood, Executive Director of Communications and Public Affairs, and member of the Hall of Fame Committee, Drury Sackett, and her spouse Christopher. Thank you for being here. And we have a number of our Hall of Fame members with us this evening. So if you would stand when I call your name, and if we'll hold our applause until everybody's been named. So starting with Reed Campbell, Lisa Dowling Costello, Kendall Forte Dickinson, Wayne Duogi, Sam Engelhart, Jim Ferrer, Mike Ginder, Tom Jones, Whitney Parker Kessner, Alex Sweet. These are our Hall of Fame members. Thanks for being with us. So we're going to get the show on the road. It's my pleasure to turn the program over to John Jensen, Class of 01, Executive Director of Alumni and Career Services, to lead the remainder of our celebration. John.
Thank you, Jan. Really excited to be here tonight. As Jan said, I'm an Executive Director of Alumni and Career Services, proud member of the Class of 2001. And on behalf of the Alumni Association and my team, I'd like to welcome you all to the 2024 Hall of Fame induction ceremony. As a former student athlete here at W&L, though I have to admit I retired early after my junior year, I do understand firsthand the immense dedication and sacrifices required to excel at athletics at W&L. To see tonight's inductees achieve what they've had and the remarkable success is truly phenomenal. I've also been able to witness the profound impact that our Division III coaches have had on their student athletes. Our coaches are more than just mentors in sport. They help shape lives, instill values, and guide personal growth throughout a student athlete's 4 years here in Lexington. The result is a foundation for lifelong success, as evidenced by so many of you who have returned tonight to honor them. The legacy of Washington and Lee athletics is built not only on victories, but on the character and leadership developed along the way. And tonight we honor that legacy. Now to the main event. Our first inductee is Mike Winke, class of 1979 men's basketball.
Mike Wakey was a four-time letter winner for the men's basketball team and was a senior captain for the 1978-79 season. As a first-year, Wakey earned a starting role as the point guard for the Generals and led the team to a 19-7 record in the Virginia College Athletic Association Conference Championship in 1976. During his sophomore campaign, he guided WNL to a 23-5 overall record, which was highlighted by winning the inaugural Old Dominion Athletic Conference Championship in 1977. In his junior season, Wakey set the single-game assist record with a 17-assist performance against York. That same season, the Blue and White repeated as ODAC champions, going 22-6 and earning their first and only win in the NCAA tournament in program history against New Jersey City, 66-65. During his final season with the Generals, Wakey only helped to establish himself as one of the premier guards to come through the program. He finished his college career with a record of 81-28, 3 conference championships, and 2 NCAA tournament appearances. He still holds a host of program records, including the top 3 spots for assists in a single season, and the top spots for career assists with 683 and career steals with 205. His 683 career assists are 297 more than the next closest player in WNL men's basketball history.
Hi, my name is John Pagoni, and I was the senior captain of the Generals basketball team for the 75-76 season, and I've been asked to issue some remarks here to honor Michael Winke, a teammate from that team, who is this evening being inducted into Washington and Lee University Athletics Hall of Fame. Tremendous honor, Michael. And boy, looking back over the years and the lifelong friendship we have enjoyed, gives me gives me some really good feelings. Really good feelings. You were quite a study when you arrived on campus September of 1975, and in those really enjoyable times at the Remus Gymnasium when all the basketball players gathered in September for 4-on-4 pickup games. Some of the best basketball, the most enjoyable basketball we ever played. We would always have an eye on the new guys walking through the door. And the afternoon you walked in, we just looked and tried to figure out who is God's gift to basketball. You had a strut, you had an attitude, and you were ready to do some business. And it didn't take long for all of us to recognize that you had some business to be dealt. You fit in immediately with us. You played hard, you played sound, you were fundamentally sound, you had great vision, shared the ball, and best of all, on that particular team that year, you played defense. You stuck your face in there, you took your shots, and shed your blood, but you were a wonderful addition to our group of guys. Turns out you would come in handy more quickly than we surmised. The first Saturday practice we had in October, that team lost 2 of its starting 5 to unforeseen circumstances. Paul Maloney, our starting point guard, and Gary Fitzgerald, our starting forward, were lost for the year. That obviously left us in recovery mode. And on our Florida trip for Christmas, we found ourselves with a 2-3 record. Our coach, Stern Vern Canfield, saw the need to make a change. And coach inserted you into the starting lineup as our point guard. We promptly won 13 straight games, including an undefeated January, and got you a good start towards your career total of 81 victories, which is, I believe, the most successful 4-year period in the history of the program. You were a great contributor to that team, despite the lessons learned along the way from guys like Leon Baker, from James Madison and guys like Joey Carruthers from Old Dominion. Yes, to all of you sitting in the audience, we did play that kind of schedule back in 75, 76. Mike took lessons learned from those two particular guys, one on the defensive end, one on the offensive end, and turned it into some wonderful lessons for the following couple of years when he was the point guard and quarterback for some tremendous offensive clubs, the most successful, I believe, in the history of the university. I'm really happy, Michael, to congratulate you on your induction into the Hall of Fame. And I'm even more proud to call you a lifelong friend. And I wish you the very, very best. And to tell you once again, as I know I've done personally, you're an inspiration, buddy, to all of us. Congratulations, pal, on your special night. Some wonderful lessons for the following couple of years when he was the point guard and quarterback for some tremendous offensive clubs, the most successful, I believe, in the history of the university. I'm really happy, Michael, to congratulate you on your induction into the Hall of Fame, and I'm even more proud to call you a lifelong friend. And I wish you the very, very best, and to tell you once again, as I know I've done personally, you're an inspiration, buddy, to all of us. Congratulations, pal, on your special day.
Coach McHugh, I think we need to bring back those awesome sweatpants for this coming season. Washington Elite University is very proud to welcome Mike Wenke, class of 1979, to the Athletics Hall of Fame. Congratulations. Please come on up.
Thank you so much. Thank you. This is wonderful. Could you hold that, please? Good evening. If you came into this dining hall and didn't know when I graduated, you just took a look at my picture with that mustache and hair and you said that had to be the 1970s. If you saw me after one of the games with my multicolored blazer on, you would say, there goes John Travolta Jr. walking down the street. So that was a little bit, in fact, I really appreciated whoever looked through all those photographs, because I really saw the one time that I actually took a shot in the game and didn't pass the ball. It was great. You had to really search for that. That was good. This, I know we're on a time schedule, so I made some notes to keep myself focused. I need that. And my daughters, who always say that I'm a dinosaur, say, hey, Dad, join us in the 21st century and put your notes on your iPhone, okay? So I said, sounds like a good idea. So I'm going to do that. I got my notes, and they're on the iPhone, and it really works well. Don't get too confident, because I wrote really small for this one page. So I'm going to try my best. Now, don't start the clock now, because you don't. I heard that you don't start the clock when you're telling jokes. I heard that maybe I was wrong, but I heard that. Now, first of all, to Jan and the entire selection committee, the task that you take up every year to have to come to grips with 5 or 6 new inductees is just phenomenal, because of the number of worthy nominees that come across your desk each and every year. And my understanding is it's only going to get worse, because, or better from one standpoint, because I think a third of the undergraduates here actually play on our varsity, the 24 varsity sports. And in this past year, 59 individual or team records were broken. So it's only going to get hard. So thank you for bringing me in this year before it even got so hard that I would go back to the bottom of the pile. So I appreciate that. Because I assure you, you have made this dinosaur very, very, very happy. I have been smiling since Jan called about 5 months ago. And my family is very, very thrilled about tonight too. But I think they're even more thrilled that I promise that after tonight I'll stop singing Bruce Springsteen's, what's that song again? Glory Days, it's exactly right. Thank you. You must have sung it yourself. I've been singing that since May, every night at dinner time, so I promise after tonight, I'm done. I'm done, I promise. Now, to my fellow, where are you? There you are. My fellow Hall of Famers for tonight, the new Hall of Famers, thank you so much. I'll tell you, congratulations to Hillary and Jim and Tim and Sarah. It is absolutely a thrill to share this night with each of you and your families and your friends. This is just wonderful. And I heard the response to them, and the love is here for each one of you, and I join in it. And it is absolutely my privilege to be linked with you in the years to come at Washington Lee's Hall of Fame. I would say where it is, but I can't pronounce the name of our new gymnasium. It would eat my time up if I tried, okay? It's the old Warner Gymnasium. There it is, the Athletic Center. It is my privilege to be linked to you always in the Athletic Center. Now, all of us, we come to Washington Lee with different backgrounds. I am one of 11 children, raised in suburbs of Philadelphia in a row home with 3 bedrooms, 1 bathroom, 4 sets of bunk beds, and a lot of love. And I want to just take this time to thank my mom and my dad and my 10 siblings, Joe, Jack, Maureen, and Bernadette, Jimmy, Bernice, Amory, Kathleen, and Patty, and Bobby. I want to thank you all because, let me tell you, you definitely raised me up to be more than I could be. There's no doubt about that. I heard that somewhere, but I just wanted to use that tonight. Thank you all. And you're all here tonight, and I appreciate it. The foundation that was forged at 407 Park Drive, and that means a lot to my family. I brought that here in 1975, and a lot of people here really helped me to strengthen that foundation, to build upon it. And there's too many to name here at all tonight, just too much. But let me at least mention 2, and that's, sir, you heard Coach Vern Canfield. Coach is the winningest coach in men's basketball history here, a member of the Hall of Fame. And unfortunately, he could not be here tonight, but I had the pleasure of talking to Coach on Tuesday, and I told him, as I'll tell you, of my great appreciation for all that he did for me, both on and off the court. I appreciate also one other person, Jerry Darrell. Jerry was the director of food services here from the early 1970s to the early 2000s, and I never met any other individual who was as great a supporter of Washington Lee University, its athletic programs, and especially its student athletes than Jerry Darrell. And I know Jerry was the moving force on my nomination here, and I appreciate that fully. But I appreciate most is that 49 years later after we met, Jerry, you're still my good friend, and I appreciate that the most. Thank you so much for that. I appreciate it. The assists, I know the numbers are a big part of this, and it's part of it, but that's certainly the assists in basketball, the definition is a pass that directly leads to a field goal. So obviously I played with a lot of great shooters, like John Pagoni, like Pat Dennis, Dave Lunick, and a lot of others. But let me tell you, they also could catch the ball, because some of the places where I threw, the angles I threw passes, they could have very much well been turnovers. But these guys caught the ball and then took and made the shot, and I appreciate that. But assists were a little bit more than that, because it wasn't just a passer and it wasn't just a shooter, but many of them came at the end of fast breaks that were started after a gigantic rebound by a Don Berlin, or maybe after a timely steal by a Bob Flint, or maybe even after we ran the play perfectly that Coach Canfield drew up, and then Chris Larson would pop out of nowhere, get the ball, and make that last second shot against Hampton-Sydney, or against, at that time, a Division II stalwart, Randolph-Macon. That was wonderful. I had so many wonderful teammates around me that if I just got on the ball, they would make that basket and make me look good. And they did it for 4 years, and I appreciate it. It picked me up a lot, and I appreciate that. So let me just take this last minute, though, to recognize my family. It wasn't mentioned in here, and without trying to boast, I actually am the very first Henry Luce Scholar that graduated from Washington and Lee. And that I mention that only because that took me to South Korea after I graduated. And there in January of 1980, I met my wife-to-be, Il-hee Park, who was a professional women's basketball player at that time. 3.5 years later, we were married. And let me just say it in Korean, Il-hee means blessed day. And she has been my blessed day every single moment of every day that I have met her since 1980. And I appreciate that. And thank you for that. And let me just say that the blessings didn't stop there, because we had 3 wonderful children, Jeffrey, Kimberly, and Michelle, 2 outstanding son-in-laws with Ryan and Aaron, and 9 of the most beautiful grandchildren you could ever meet anywhere in the world, and that's an unbiased fact. So I say thank you to Isla and Emma, and to Lainey, to JJ, to Mia, and to Everly, and to Nolan, and to Sadie, and to Adeline Love, who's still here. Now, Adeline was born on my birthday. These 15 individuals are truly my legacy. And I thank Washington Lee, because without going to Korea, without Washington Lee, there would be no Lou Scholar. And there was no Lou Scholar, I never would have made it to Korea. So thank you, Washington Lee University, for all that you brought into my life. And as for tonight, I assure you, this is the gigantic cherry on top. Thank you so much. Enjoy the evening.
Congratulations again, Mike. Our next inductee is Jim Stagnita, men's lacrosse head coach.
Jim Stagnita served as the head coach of the Washington and Lee men's lacrosse team for 12 seasons, guiding them to some of their most successful campaigns at the Division III level. From 1990 through 2001, the Generals were a fixture in the national rankings as they were ranked during every season under his leadership. Over his time at the helm of the Blue and White, he compiled a 136-42 overall record, won 6 ODAC championships, and made 5 trips to the NCAA tournament. At the time of his departure from WNL, Stagnita left as the program's all-time wins leader with 136 victories. Over his final 4 seasons with the Generals from 1998 through 2001, WNL went 56-8, 22-2 in conference play, and won 2 ODAC titles and made 3 trips to the NCAA tournament. The biggest highlight of his time in Lexington came in 2000, where Washington and Lee went 16-2 overall and reached the semifinals of the NCAA tournament for just the 5th time in program history. In his final season in 2001, WNL was the top-ranked team in the nation for much of the season before ending the campaign with a 14-1 overall record. All in all, Stagnita coached his players to 62 All-ODAC selections, 41 All-America citations, 4 ODAC Players of the Year, and the 2001 Jack Turnbull Award winner for the National Attackman of the Year. The 4-time ODAC Coach of the Year went on to coach at Rutgers University for 10 years before coaching professionally starting in 2012. He was the head coach of the Denver Outlaws and Charlotte Hounds of Major League Lacrosse and currently serves as the head coach of the Maryland Whipsnakes of the Premier Lacrosse League.
Hi, I'm Charlie Antrim. I played for Coach Stagnita from 1996 to 2000. When I think back on my time in Lexington playing for Coach, a number of words come to mind, but I'm going to focus on 2 of them, objective and demanding. I was a walk-on attackman, and I remember vividly the fall of my freshman year after 3 grueling practices walking into Coach's office. He was there with his staff, and he turned to me with this wry grin on his face and said, "My wife Lori tells me I should keep you. I'm going to keep you, but I'm moving you to midfield." About a year later, after the season, Coach pulls me into his office. "I'm going to move you to close defense." It didn't matter that I wasn't one of Coach's recruits. It didn't matter what position I had played previously. Coach was going to put the best team on the field he possibly could, and he was objective about it. He would have done that for any player if it would have helped the team. Looking back, Coach didn't just give me the opportunity to play. He gave me the opportunity of a lifetime. And I was lucky, because I don't think too many other coaches would have done that. And I definitely don't think it would happen in today's game. Demanding. Coach got the best out of his players. we would often hear the phrase, "You're only as good as your last day," during practice. Now, he might have said it in a different tone, but the words rang true. If we didn't bring it every single day in practice, we risked losing our position on the field for games. What an amazing lesson for life. But that's what Coach did. He prepared us for life. Coach, congrats on a well-deserved honor. Thank you for the memories, the life lessons, and the friendship. I'm so grateful. Hope you have a great night. I really wish I could.
Washington Lee University is very proud to welcome Jim Stagnita to the Athletics Hall of Fame. Congratulations, and please come on up.
Never thought you guys would stand up for me. That in itself is an accomplishment. I did write something down because, believe it or not, I've become much more emotional with time. Lars, you having some flashbacks of loading trucks and serving meals? Two-time national champion was slinging hash back here at one point in his career, and it served him well. Congratulations to all tonight's inductees. I was fortunate enough to be here at the same time that Hillary was. Got to watch the fantastic things that she did. Thank you to the Hall of Fame committee, my friend Jan Hathorn. Jan was my peer when I was first here. She was the women's lacrosse coach. I have to thank Mike Walsh. He took a chance on a 26-year-old. He had the patience, and he had a huge role in my development, and believe me, it wasn't easy. I'm truly humbled by everyone who is here tonight. It's a little bit overwhelming in a lot of ways, but thank you. When we arrived here in November of '89, I don't think many people thought there was any chance of me ever standing up here and being a member of the Hall of Fame. President Wilson asked Mike Walsh if I was old enough to be a head coach. The alumni were asking, who is Jim Stagnita? I was literally in the Mount Washington Tavern in Baltimore on the day they announced that I was the head coach. And a fellow Hall of Famer, Bobby Clements, was in front of me ordering a drink at the bar, and he was talking to the guy he was with, and he said, "Who the hell is Jim Stagnita?" And so I had two thoughts. I'm like, wow, I've kind of arrived. People actually care about this. So I tapped him on the shoulder. I said, "Hey, I know Jim Stagnita." He goes, "You do?" And I said, "He's a hell of a guy, man." He said, "How do you know him?" I said, "It's me." Even my players publicly questioned me. Dave Ferrace, the headmaster at the McDonough School, he had a senior moment and he forgot that over the last 2 years they were 7-20. I was fortunate. I had some great mentors in the department. Coach Gary Fallon, Chuck O'Connell. They were instrumental in helping me to navigate all that comes with being a head coach, a young head coach, and a faculty member. I loved having Jeff Stickley in the office next to me. I never learned anything from him, but he made me laugh every single day. It's not possible to recognize everyone who's had an impact on my 12 years here. But no team had it tougher than my first team. And no team was more impactful than my first group. And there's a number of them here. Frace, Reed Campbell, Guida, Weemy. We cut that first team down. I arrived in November. We cut that first team down to the bare minimum. And what we made up for in lack of depth, we made up for it with toughness and resiliency. They spearheaded the culture change and the perception in the school, in the program. They gutted out games all year, went 9-4 in that first year, just missing the NCAA tournament. They came back in the second year, went 11-4, won the ODAC, and made the NCAA tournament. They redefined what it meant to be a WNL lacrosse player. They started a culture where lacrosse was more important than the fraternity and the social life. They put WNL back on the map and set the foundation for the remainder of my time here and for the future of WNL lacrosse. There's not been a losing season since that first year I was here. The last losing season was Dave Frace's 4-9 season. There's no way you were getting away with that, you know that. I may be old, but I don't forget. I'm proud of you though. Thank God we won that year, because if we didn't, there very well could have been a mutiny, because I pushed them hard. In those first 6 years, we slowed the game down, played great defense, found a way to win 3 ODAC titles in 2 NCAA tournaments, and get into 2 NCAA tournaments. The next 6 years with 4 recruited classes and a renewed success, we became a perennial top 8 team. We had some great talent, but the same work ethic and commitment that became our trademark. Throughout my career, and it's almost 40 years of coaching, if I defined my success by wins and losses, I'd be successful 66% of the time. For you WNL guys, that's a little over a D. I have to judge my success by the people I've impacted and the leaders I've developed. I couldn't be prouder of the men that my guys have become, the parents and the fathers, each uniquely successful in their chosen profession. My first team changed WNL lacrosse, and my final team changed lacrosse at the NCAA level and nationally. I used the 2001 team. I work with professional teams and I work with corporations in the areas of leadership and culture. And I use that last team to help them define success and resiliency. It was a year that the NCAA had no at-large bids. We were ranked number 1 to 3 throughout the whole season. The year before, we lost to Salisbury 10-9, the national champ, in an unbelievable semifinal game. We had the whole team back. We lost our 11th game right after finals by a goal going over the mountain to Ham Sydney. And on that day, our guys knew that their opportunity to play in the NCAA tournament was over. They didn't feel like they had anything to play for. I understood that they had a lot to play for. We were able to rally. The next weekend, we beat the Division II champs, Limestone College. We beat Randolph-Macon College. And we beat VMI in the annual Lee Jackson Classic to end the season at 14-1. And then we became a big part of the national conversation because they were able to pull it together and show the resiliency they did. Everyone in the country was asking why the number 2 team in the country was not in the NCAA tournament. As a coach, I gotta say, and I think about it every day, it's the most successful season I ever had. And I know those guys draw from that experience, and I know they're proud when they look back, and I know it's helped them through some point in their professional lives. I've had a number of talented assistants throughout the years. They made $5,000, and they worked in the dining hall. Some volunteered, Lael Campbell. Lars has won 2 national championships. I actually got to coach against him. I had to send him a film and show him that his faceoff man was cheating when he was at Stony Brook and I was at Rutgers. He said, Lars, I did not teach you that. Lars' first interview with the Roanoke Times, he said in the interview, Coach Stagnita made me cry when I was the assistant coach at Washington. Sit down, Lars. I'm the head coach here. I'm sure there were other things that the Roanoke Times would have liked to hear about. I'm glad you got it off your chest. I didn't notice you recognizing me when you won your 2 national championships. And G. McCabe, who's led this program so well and kept the success going for all these years. Finally, my family. Allie and Matt, who was a pretty terrific player in his own right, for sharing me with so many other young men for so many years. Celebrating every win and suffering through every loss with me. Always being my biggest fans. Allie got married 2 weeks ago. Mike, I'd like to say Rich is great, but give him a little bit of time before we come to that. He's a huge Whip Snakes fan. Last but not least, and most impactful, Lori. There's no question in my mind that she's the reason that everybody came back tonight. She always gives me perspective. She was the guy's greatest advocate. She was a surrogate mother. She allowed players to see me, and she humanized me off the field. Weekly team meals. Constant interaction with the boys. She kept me balanced and still does. She let me know when to hit the reset button. She was a talented player and coach in her own right, and she's never hesitated and still does not hesitate to tell me when I'm wrong. In an ending, this was a wonderful place. This is where I learned to be a coach. In our time here, in our relationships that we built and what we accomplished together, as I wind down a long career, I can truly say that Washington and Lee, in my time here, was the highlight of my career. Thank you.
Once again, congratulations, Jim. Our next inductee is Hillary Martin Cheney, class of 1998, undergrad and 2004 law.
Hillary Martin was a 4-year letter winner and 4-time first-team All-ODAC selection for the volleyball team from 1994 to 1997. During her first season with the Generals, Martin helped W&L to a 19-8 record and a 7-2 mark in ODAC play, while leading the team with 250 kills, 205 digs, and 66 total blocks. She took a big leap in her sophomore campaign as she was named the ODAC Player of the Year and helped the Generals to their first conference championship in program history. Blue and White went 29-6 during that 1995 campaign, including a perfect 11-0 mark at home. Martin once again led the Generals in kills with 365, digs with 200, and blocks with 62. The next fall, Martin guided W&L to a 29-4 record, an unbeaten league schedule, and a perfect 10-0 home record. In her final season in 1997, Martin helped W&L win its final 9 matches of the season to take home their second ODAC championship in program history. That 97 ODAC title then kickstarted a run of W&L volleyball dominance, where the Generals captured 11 conference titles in 12 seasons. For her career, Martin finished with a 96-27 overall record, a 35-4 mark in conference play, a pair of ODAC championships, and became just the second player in league history to be named first-team All-ODAC all 4 seasons. In the record books, she still ranks top 10 in program history in 6 different categories, while finishing her career with 1,091 kills, 869 digs, 262 blocks, and a serving percentage of 95%. Her 1,091 kills are the 13th most in program history, and Martin holds the distinction as the first player in program history to surpass 1,000 career kills.
Hey, Hillary. Congratulations on this wonderful honor. I'm really pleased for you, and I'm excited that someone from your era, the time when WNL volleyball was really just first starting to see success, is being recognized. I think a lot of the success that we've had during my time here as the coach was built upon you and your teammates and the success that we had in the mid to late 90s. So really happy for you. Happy to have another member of our WNL volleyball program in the Hall of Fame. Hope you have a wonderful weekend, and congratulations again.
Washington and Lee University is very proud to welcome Hillary Martin Cheney, class of 1998, undergrad in 2004 law, to the Athletics Hall of Fame. Congratulations. Please come on up.
Thank you so much to the WNL community, to Jan and the entire committee. This is a special moment. It's a bittersweet moment. I came to WNL and loved it for 4 years. I loved it so much I came back for law school for my second tour of duty, and that's where I met my husband, Nathan. We fell in love at Washington and Lee, spent a lot of wonderful times in Roanoke and Charlottesville and all throughout the Blue Ridge. Moved back to Little Rock, Arkansas, where he was from, started our family, and 2 years ago he was diagnosed with stage 4 colon cancer, and he wound up succumbing to that last year. But in his time of sickness, he nominated me for this award. So it's very special. A lot of people had something to do with getting me up here tonight. My dad, class of 1964, Howard Martin, and my brother, class of 1992, Brad Martin. We loved our time in Lexington. We spent a lot of wonderful times here as children and growing up. But I have to give a shout out to my Cheney family, Nathan Cheney and my 2 children, River and Carter. It's a special moment because I'm thinking of Nathan. He would love to be here and see this, but he got me up on the stage. Our program is doing great this year. We're undefeated. We're number 18. The Generals are number 18 in the nation, and they are facing number 1, Juniata, tomorrow. So say a general cheer for the WNL volleyball team, and thank you again, Jan, and the entire committee. I appreciate it.
Our next inductee is Tim McGlaston, class of 2008, men's swimming.
Tim McGlaston was a 4-year letter winner for the men's swimming team from 2004 to 2008. He helped the Generals to a 32-5 overall record during his 4 seasons and was a 4-time All-Bluegrass Mountain Conference selection. After being an all-conference selection and helping WNL to a Bluegrass Mountain Championship during his first year, McGlaston really found his stride in his sophomore campaign. The Generals finished in 14th place at the NCAA Championships, with McGlaston swimming in both the 200 free relay and 400 free relay teams that also placed 14th. During his junior season, McGlaston helped the Blue and White win a 4th straight Bluegrass Mountain Championship. At the 2007 NCAA Championship, he swam in the 50 free, 200 free relay, and 400 free relay. The 200 free relay placed second in the nation, while the 400 free relay finished in 6th overall to each earn first-team All-America accolades. As a team, Washington and Lee finished 8th at the national championship, matching their highest finish ever as a team. In his final season in 2008, McGlaston shined on the national stage at the NCAA championships once more. He swam in 5 events, earning first-team All-America honors in 4 of them, including a 4th-place showing in the 200 free relay, a 6th place in the 400 free relay, a 7th-place finish in the 50 free, and an 8th-place finish in the 800 free relay. The Generals once again placed 8th overall as a team at the national championship. Over his career, McGlaston racked up 4 all-conference citations, 3 conference championships, helped the Generals to 2 of their best finishes ever at the NCAA championship, and earned a total of 9 All-America citations, including 6 first-team All-America finishes.
Tim, I want to say congratulations on being inducted into the Athletic Hall of Fame. It's hard to believe that we started that journey 20 years ago. You actually recruited me into swimming. I was trying to play basketball and not succeeding at it very well, but was convinced I was a basketball player, and you saw that I would be a better swimmer, and thankfully reason won out, and I joined you on the swim team, and I can't thank you enough for that. You're really the best example I could think of how you can excel at both academics and athletics at a school. I mean, we thought you had a chance to be the valedictorian, and you were one of the best swimmers in WNL history. I remember being at away meets, and you and we would want to beat each other just because we would want to be the ones to set the pool record at some other school's pool. I remember the time that we were swimming a team that we knew we were going to beat pretty handily, and so our coach put some of the IM swimmers and distance swimmers in the 50 freestyle in like the A heat, and so you're in the B heat going right before the A heat, which is supposed to be the fastest heat, and you're swimming the 50 freestyle at our pool, and you break the pool record in the B consolation heat, and you could just see the faces of the other team, and they're like, what are we supposed to do with this? And the meet was just clearly over. They knew they were in over their heads, and it was an awesome victory for us. We were just the best of competitors and friends. You'd set a school record or a pool record, and then I would take it, and then you would take it back, and that was so much fun to have that back and forth. And out of the pool, we were just the best of friends, and I couldn't have a higher respect for you as an individual. I'm really glad that I could be here with you. It's no surprise to me that you turned out to be the man that you are, both with an incredible family and an incredible career. You're a home run of a human being, and I'm honored to call you a friend, even if I don't get to see you as much as I'd like because of the distance between us. So again, congratulations, Tim. You've earned it.
Washington and Lee University is very proud to welcome Tim McGlaston, class of 2008, to the Athletics Hall of Fame. Congratulations.
All right, so I'll put another plug in not using my phone for notes this time. All right, so thank you, Washington Lee. Thank you, Jan and the selection committee. And please forgive me if I struggle to find the right words to perfectly describe how I feel. This is something that I never could have imagined, and it's pretty overwhelming how much this means to me. So, I've been an athlete my entire life. I used sports growing up to escape from a tumultuous childhood, tumultuous upbringing, and I remember in the fall of 2004 when I came here as a freshman. When your parents are lingering around and you just want them to leave and it's hard for them to say goodbye. I remember the moment when they eventually finally left, and I was walking back from the freshman parking lot across the football field and everything, just the sense of relief that I had made it out, but also I had this feeling inside where, you know, I'd done well enough in high school to make it here. Washington Lee's a very great school, and you have to do well to get accepted, but a sense of underachieving. And so I remember walking back from that lot telling myself, okay, with all of the other things up until that point in my life that were now gone, you know, no more distractions, and I said I'm going to push myself to see how well I can do, how I can just focus on being the best athlete I could be and the best student I could be. And so, you know, starting with that freshman year, what really stood out to me, and it still stands out to me now, is just the leadership that I received from both the coaches and the upperclassmen, some of whom Mike and Dave are here tonight. Just being outstanding examples. You know, they say that some of the best ways to lead are by example, and you guys have certainly done that. As teammates, we pushed each other in the pool, and we weren't just teammates, we were also classmates. And so you can imagine early morning practices followed by classes together, followed by afternoon science labs together. It really brings you closer together. And then the other thing that stands out to me is the culture of the team and the culture of Washington and Lee. It was an environment that allowed me to thrive. And so, you know, from Joel, our coach, arranging practices both in the early mornings and in the late afternoons to accommodate a variety of different students with different schedules. Really going above and beyond and just showing how much he cares about his athletes. And then to the teammates themselves, you know, there's something about not just Division III sports, but Washington and Lee. You know, if you've been on different sports teams throughout your life, there's sometimes the teammate that's their heart's just not there. But what really stood out to me about our teams is that, you know, everyone who was on that team really loved swimming and really loved being there, and so that type of environment is just infectious. And so, you know, when I talk about my experience at Washington and Lee, not just as an athlete but as a student, you know, I say when I look back on my 4 years here, really there's nothing big that I would change. If I could go back and do it all again, I would. In terms of athletic success, you know, I came in underachieving and left an All-American swimmer. I came in an underachieving student. I came out as the recipient of an NCAA postgraduate scholarship and admission to Harvard Medical School, where I went on to meet my wife, my beautiful wife, and we've gone on to have 3 beautiful children, Owen, Whitney, and Dominic, all of whom are here tonight. And so, you know, I feel just so incredibly lucky, incredibly blessed, and know that not everyone out there can say it, but I can, that I have a career and job that I love, and I have a beautiful wife and family who are all happy and healthy, and I could not be more thankful. Thank you.
Our final inductee of the evening is Sarah Tilbor, class of 2008, women's lacrosse.
Sarah Tilbor was a standout goalie for the Washington and Lee women's lacrosse team, who earned 4 letters and started every game of her college career. Her first season in 2005, she was a second-team All-ODAC selection after helping WNL to a 15-4 record in an ODAC championship. In her sophomore season, she was named first-team All-Conference and second-team All-Region for her efforts in the crease, and once again factored into the blue and white winning the 2006 ODAC title. During her junior campaign in 2007, Tilber recorded a 5.67 goals against average, which ranks as the third best season in WNL women's lacrosse history, while helping the Generals to an ODAC title and being named second-team All-Conference and second-team All-Region. Tilber's 2008 senior season is one of the most decorated seasons a WNL women's lacrosse player has ever had. In 20 games, she helped the Generals to a 17-3 record while sporting a 6.54 goals against average and a 56.3 save percentage. She was named first-team All-ODAC and first-team All-Region. On the national level, she received first-team All-America honors from the IWLCA, InsideLacrosse.com, and Women'sLacrosse.com, in addition to being named the National Goalkeeper of the Year from all three publications. Tilber also became the first WNL female recipient of the C. Marklin Kelly National Goalkeeper of the Year Award. For her career, Tilber amassed a 63-15 overall record, 4 ODAC championships, 4 NCAA tournament berths, and never lost a game to a conference opponent. She was All-Conference every season, a 3-time All-Region selection, and an All-American by 3 different publications in 2008. She remains in the record books, ranking top 5 in program history in career saves and career save percentage, and her 6.44 career goals against average is still a program record.
Hey, Till. Congratulations on this so well-deserved honor. I hope you are having just the best night tonight. And I am so sorry not to be there with you. I'm sure I'm having significant FOMO right about now. And there are so many memories to choose from, be it throwing the ball in the yard of the CCS house in Costa Rica that summer, or jumping off the rope swing in front of the pool houses, or 4 straight ODAC championships and 4 straight Sharpie parties. There's just a lot to look back on and love. But I will say that playing at the opposite end of the field from you our senior year with the other 5 seniors in between to this day is still some of the most fun I've had in my entire life. And I'm just so proud to be one of us and so proud of you, and have a fantastic night celebrating an outstanding career and knowing that we are all truly there with you in spirit. L for L.
Washington Elite University is very proud to welcome Sarah Tilber, class of 2008, to the Athletics Hall of Fame. Congratulations.
It's challenging to articulate the depth and breadth of gratitude I have for the opportunities that have brought me here. I've had people in my life who have believed in me. Some were in my life fleetingly, and some were permanently. Friends who understood the commitment required, coaches that pushed me with kindness and silliness. Wendy Orson, you once told me that I run slower than your grandmother. And teammates that not only understood, but embraced my crazy, including lucky shirts that were tattered and torn up, superstitious routines in the pregame, and the decision to not drink a sip of alcohol in season. I grew up in a small town in rural Connecticut where young girls mainly played soccer. And it wasn't until I was 14 that a lacrosse stick was put in my hand. I want to thank Beth, who's not here today, for opening my world up to this sport. When I received a letter from Jan Hathorn to come visit, I flew down, uncertain if a small college in rural Virginia would fit what I was looking for. But when I was homesick, Linda Jack, you brought me a care package. And when I missed the ocean, Jan, you made sure that we got to that ocean during our team visit to North Carolina. As I began my career for 4 years playing lacrosse, I quickly learned that team was everything. They elevated my play, supported me when I was down, and made everything more fun. We quickly had inside jokes and a unique way of speaking. "I'm with you" was a way that we would say, "I trust where you're going, and I'm sticking with you the whole way." To my teammates, some of whom are here today, I'm still with you. To the women that came before me, I am forever grateful for the trail you've blazed, and cheers to the one that we are still blazing today. To this institution, W&L was so different and so much more than I could have imagined. Sorry. It's a little bit of a Pleasantville, a little drink the Kool-Aid and bleed the Generals blue. And I'm sure everyone knows of all of the academics and how amazing W&L is from that perspective. But I'm so grateful. And some of my best classrooms were the lacrosse field, the outing club, and studying abroad. And there are not many colleges that allow for that latitude of learning, and I'm so happy I was here. To my family, we're a small but mighty team. Thank you for the sacrifices. To my brother, who never lets me take myself too seriously and always greets the world with humor. And my dad, for the countless 3 a.m. wake-ups to drive down for a game, always wearing pink. To all the athletes and coaches, congratulations, and I'm honored to be here with you. Thank you.
What an amazing group. I know you all just sat down, but let's give them one more round of applause, all of them. I just have a few quick announcements, and then we will adjourn. So immediately after I say goodnight, you who are Hall of Fame inductees, we need you to come somewhere near this podium, and we're going to figure out a way to get a picture of you. And then we actually need your plaques back, because then we give them back to you at the Hall of Fame halftime event at the football game tomorrow. So I promise you'll get to take them after that. We also tomorrow have 2 home events. Men's soccer is playing Ferrum College at 1 o'clock on Alston Park Watt Field. And football will be in action against our rival, Hampton-Sydney, at 1 o'clock on Wilson Field. I can't thank you enough for being with us. What an extraordinary group of people. We are adjourned. Go Generals.